Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. But before we begin today's program, just want to let you know that today, May 1st, we are celebrating our 350th episode of what we call TAC. We most sincerely thank all the people around the globe who tune into us every week, just like clockwork, as we all get together. So I'm going to say it for the 350th time. Roll it, Tony.
I know. We kind of have a drug dealer, too.
Kinda?
And a lot of other random shit that you probably find gross.
You are cracking.
You think?
I'm no psychiatrist, but it sounds like it. The most we did growing up was hop a train for kicks. Or that time when we accidentally set that brownstone.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest today on this marvelous occasion was born on Valentine's Day. Now, she was determined to make her mark on the world, and guess what? That she has done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress Pei Pei Lin. Greetings, Pei Pei, and welcome once again to the Actor's Choice. By the way, Pei Pei, what's the meaning of your name?
Oh, so my name loosely means with lots of rain.
Lots of rain.
Yeah.
Oh,
so what happened was my parents actually wanted to name me something different. They wanted to name me something like Penny, like a penny, like Penny. But my grandparents, they were super old school, and they thought the character Ni made them think of a monk or mud. So they were not having it. Yeah, in Mandarin it does. And so they took me to a fortune teller as a baby, and they calculated my birth date, my year, and told me that told my parents that my life lacks water, whatever that means. And so they decided that the third character would also be Pei, which is a character that has means with lots of rain. So with lots of rain, apparently is what I needed for this life.
Oh, thank you. That gave us a little bit of education, as we call it. Indeed. So where were you born?
I was born in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town. Yes, Taiwan is beautiful. Then I have to ask you the question that I always ask everybody. Thank you, Tony. What made you get into acting?
Oh, I think it's more or less a calling. I think it's kind of how I would describe it. Ever since I was a little girl, I would try to recreate scenes I've seen in cartoons, and I would try to perform them. I didn't know I was performing to my mom, and she was intensely amused. And I was really good at imitating different people, how they talk, and it's just like you naturally got inclined to this practice, and I guess I never had any doubt that I loved doing this. It was always just it's a matter of whether I have had the courage to pursue this actually as the profession. Because growing up, parents would always tell you, like, sure, it's good to have a hobby. It's good to, something to do. Yeah.
STD, something to do, right?
Something to do, yeah. But it wasn't until like college that I really felt that I cannot be doing anything else. I would not be happy.
Got you.
And that's how I got into acting.
So coming to LA, coming to Hollywood, what was that all about? The reaction.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What was your reaction when you came here to Los Angeles and to Hollywood?
I loved it. I love it. It's very different from New York. Well, first of all, a lot of times you would be going into studio lots for auditions and whatnot. And that just made you feel so legit. And I love that a lot of people here are working in the show business. So you don't feel so weird in social settings when people ask you what you do and you say you're an actor, and you don't get that taken aback reaction and ask you some questions that a lot of actors prefer not to answer.
Got you. Yeah. The year was 2010. You did your first IMDb TV credit. It was called Voices. You did a short drama. You played the role of Nia Tai.
Yes.
Yes. That was the first game. What'd you learn out of that one?
Oh, that independent filmmaking is hard.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, I'm glad to be in the union, that's for sure.
Right. One of your movies that we take a look at, it was called Kim Jong-il, 2019, a short action film that you did. Your role was Sun.
Yes, I love that experience. It was a fun film because the idea is kind of fantastical, but it's also fun at the same time.
Yes.
Premise is that I was a defect from North Korea. Uh-huh. My brother and I came together, and my brother kind of worked secretly with the US government, and I think he got killed. And so somehow the CIA came to me and said that Kim Jong-il is going to visit New York for a brief time. And they decided that I was the perfect person that they would shortly train to try to assassinate Kim Jong-il. And the best part was kind of right after this film wrapped and the finished product kind of came out, Kim Jong-il in real life actually died.
Oh, okay.
So the timing was kind of fun for us, considering that we did kill him in the film. Spoilers.
Okay. All right. We just happen to have a small video. Roll it, Tony.
We saw a lot more than the video.
Wow.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, that scene was so I was fighting with his bodyguard, and that was one of my first stage combat experience.
Oh,
and so yeah, that was really fun. We practiced about a whole bunch, and the day of, it was just really fun. I mean, they kind of made fun of me because in the beginning I couldn't stop making sound effects as I go.
Yeah.
I can't help but go, ugh, oh. Yeah. They're like, you need to dial that down.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Here's a couple of questions that would love to ask you. What was it like for you and other actors during the lockdown? What was that like?
That was, oh my gosh. I'm sure like we were the same as the world, that we were just kind of in shock and processing it. Uh-huh. It was definitely a sense of panic because you don't know when your next work is going to come then, because the world is in a shutdown mode.
Yes.
And there's also that aspect of keeping up the art and the craft to help us through. And I am part of this acting studio called BGB Studio.
Yes.
And we were fortunate to be able to keep meeting weekly on Zoom. And so it is very cathartic for us to talk about how we're feeling during this very turbulent times, like what we are doing to maintain our well-being, because as actors, our bodies is our instrument.
Yes.
And we need to keep it sort of well-oiled and well-maintained to be able to access all the emotions that are required for scenes and such. So, I mean, we still did scenes, and I think a lot of us did a lot of writing to sort of keep the creative juices rolling and sort of keep that storytelling spirit alive. And also it is something to do.
Something to do, yes.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the pending possible writer strikes. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, first of all, we hope they get what they want, for sure. I personally believe that writers are kind of underappreciated at this moment for their work. And their work really is the bone structure of what we do, of the story. So I mean, I know as actors, because everything has slowed down and a lot of us don't have a lot of auditions recently. And it's a little bit, like I said, a little panic, like when is the next work going to come, or when are things going to start rolling and filming again? And so we kind of go back to that time where during the lockdown, I think we're just going back to taking care of ourselves, taking care of our well-being, writing, journaling, communicating with other actors. Like 2, 3 good friends of mine who are also actors and creatives, like during this time, we are collaborating and thinking that we will make something together, like a short film or a teaser, just anything to keep the muscle alive, to keep the spirit alive.
Yes, yes. We get ready to show you a video. I looked into my resources and found, and you were in it. Tony, can you roll that, please?
Like stuff like that. So just make sure you don't sort of wear yourself thin in the beginning and get burnt out super quickly.
Gotcha. Well, we ran out of time. I want to thank you very much for coming by today. May I have your right hand, please?
Right hand.
Yes, here's my trademark for good luck. Hold on to that Eisenhower silver dollar.
Thank you.
Hold on to that for good luck. And of course, it says
Aww,
Pei Pei on there. Yes.
how sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's how you
Thank
get
you.
roses.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. That was a nice day.
For those, ladies and gentlemen, that was taken when we were at the studio in Warner Brothers, near Warner Brothers, and I always gave all the guests a silver dollar because I'm in the same room with them, and the ladies, I always gave them a dozen roses, and Pei Pei was one of our guests, and it was an honor and a pleasure. The look on your face was just marvelous. And I said, let me roll this again first so she can see what that was all about. Thank you so much. I wish I could put my hands on you right now, but we'll come together and make sure you get that. Yes, ma'am, you'll get that silver dollar. I still go around doing that.
Thank you. That was such a sweet moment. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, God bless you. You better know it. You better know it. We got time for one or two more questions. You're doing an upcoming project, but no liberty to discuss the details per request. Can you tell us about this? Only what you can tell us.
Yeah, so it is a very fun drama slash comedy, and I actually played a Japanese character that's from the 1600s.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of fun because I got to do a lot of research on the history of Japan during that time.
Yes.
And it's always fun to play a character from another period.
Yes.
Because there is that, I love that sense of how humans and human behaviors are largely the same, even through time and through different. Frozen?
Yeah.
Am I frozen?
Yeah. Now you're back to normal. I think you are. Yeah. There you go.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Don't know what that's about.
Yeah, so the show is being shopped right now, and so we keep our fingers crossed. And
yes, yes. Wow. It was just some of the things that we've been doing. You have a wonderful sense of comedy. And some people say you are a lovable nerd. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Tell us about that, please.
I lovable is just to not have that negative connotation that some people might associate with the label nerd. For the longest time, I didn't really like that label myself, but I quickly realized that I read a lot of books. I like to read for fun. I play a lot of video games. I care about whether a person uses a word correctly or not.
Yes.
And apparently all that would qualify you for that label.
Oh, okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with it.
Well, how's your career doing these days? Are you working? What are you doing these days?
These days I've been writing, been taking care of myself. When auditions come in, obviously very happy and excited and work on it.
Yes.
That's pretty much how it is right now. And I'm going to class every week, just to keep the muscle going, keep the craft honing.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Pei Pei, thank you. We want to thank you for being here today on our 350th episode. Again, it's a real pleasure having you with us. And of course, continued success in your career.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here again.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Pei Pei Lin. This is the Actors Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roller, Tony. We'd like to let you know that we're asking our actors to people to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt, who passed away January 20th, 1997, was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Judy Pace. So all you got to do is contact our office at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. Ladies and gentlemen, we most sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay? Roll this up.
Hi everyone, my name is Gallienne Nabila. I'm actually new here to Miami and I'm a model. And a lot of my friends were telling me about this place called Body Details that they've gotten laser before. And I've never gotten laser before. I actually didn't know about laser until maybe about 2 years ago. So shaving has always been a hassle for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen a commercial performed by our next guest today. This lady is well known worldwide for the talent and beauty that she has. She's also had great success as a pro print and commercial model, along with intense personality and effortless charisma to both the TV and the film world. So, without further ado, please welcome Gallienne Nabila. Let me say it right. Nabila.
Gallienne Nabila.
Oh, gosh, beautiful name. Welcome and welcome to the Actors Choice. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wouldn't have it no other way. Today is a special day for both of us. You as a guest, having you as a guest, and us celebrating our 350th episode. We are real happy about it. So,
I saw that. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. So where were you born at?
I was born in Manhattan, New York City.
Manhattan, New York City. There's that symbol again. The lady who came on before you, she also was from New York. I'm from New York City. I'm from uptown Harlem. That's where I spent my time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's something about people from New York.
Oh, yeah. Very special folks. Very special people. They talk, for one thing, they talk real fast. That's number
They
one.
do. They do.
Yeah.
That's something I do too.
Now, tell me, do you mind saying that again? Slow it down, slow it down.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
Gallienne, here's the question. So when did the model, the person, this bug, the model bug, first bite you?
So it's crazy how life works. So my mom competed in pageants growing up. It was like she's very, very involved in that world. And when I was at the age of 4, my mom put me in pageants. And so I went on to do, the Talas and Tiaras, the Glitz pageants. I moved into the Miss America, Miss USA systems. It became a huge part of my life. And then that's what I was doing from 4 all the way up until around like 19 years old. And then around age 10, I signed with my first agency. So pageants kind of brought me into modeling. And then I started doing more just like commercial work and things like that. And yeah, that's really how it worked.
Okay. So then you started getting social media traction and then booking modeling gigs. I bet that was great.
Yes, it's so crazy how life works because so my mom put me in and all that, and then I started with an agency at the age of 10, and I went through like a couple of different agencies before I got to the age 17. And then at 17 I decided to become a free agent. I didn't want to re-sign. I wanted to kind of feel things out because social media was thriving and growing. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of like play this and see, because I was having all these brands reach out to me to work with me, but I'm so used to like my agency and like them handling it and my mom handling it. And so it was also like a great transition of me becoming like an adult as well and handling things on my own. And all these brands that started reaching out to me, I started taking advantage of some of them, and I started actually, going in for shoots. And I was like basically maturing and making my own money and not getting anything taken from me and just being very like on point. I was handling all of it, and I was grinding so hard. I was traveling, moving around. And then from 17 to 20, I was a free agent, and then at 20 I decided to sign again, and I signed with Elite. So I went on to sign with Elite, and that was the first agency I signed with since I was 17. And I was with Elite for 3 years, and now I'm with Wilhelmina.
Sounds like you did something. Can we go back for just a moment? Because I see that you are
Sure.
the daughter of a Guyanese father and a white Southern belle of French English heritage.
Yeah.
I bet you when it came time to sit down to eat, you had a good meal, didn't you?
Oh my gosh. I love how you noticed that because people don't even really know. Like
Uh-huh.
I had this perfect mix of great like Southern fried chicken, mashed potatoes, cornbread, and then my dad with like, chicken curry, jerk chicken, like, and it was an amazing, amazing mix. So I ate really good growing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
When
Jealous.
where your father came from, Guyana, I mean, all that food down there was
Oh
delicious.
my God, it's literally
Oh,
amazing. And my dad is actually like, he is an actual cook. Like, my dad can cook incredible. So I had freshly cooked, home cooked meals every night. It was a blessing.
got you.
I still do. I
Yeah.
still do. I got them to move to California, and
Yep.
my dad is whipping it up for me.
You alluded to the fact that your mother and father and all your friends have given you a lot of success and help over the years. Yes, no, or
Yes.
maybe.
Absolutely. My parents, I know it sounds so typical sometimes when people are like, "Oh, like I wouldn't be where I am without them." But my mom, when I was younger, she put me not only into pageants, but she put me into public speaking. She put me into vocal lessons. She put me into dance lessons. She made me a very well-rounded individual. So even though I didn't go off into any of those specific paths, it made me like well-rounded in all the areas that I'm involved with today. And then my dad is just, they had to kick him out of pageants sometimes because he would always be like, my daughter's gonna win, and then I would win, and then it would look rigged. And so like he was always making things difficult for me growing up. But I have a very amazing, amazing support system, so I'm
Uh,
blessed.
Mother and father, that's who brought you in this world. God bless them. God bless them. So
Absolutely.
moving right along, you went to college for a time, and I understand companies in Miami offered you some high-paying gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah, so I worked really hard in high
Yep.
school to make good grades, to, do capstones, to do extra SSL hours, to be sure that I get to a great college.
Mhm.
And, like that was just my future. That was what I was focused on because that's what, society taught me, and that's what my parents taught me. And it's just so crazy because I did. I when the time came, I got accepted in all the colleges that I wanted to, but then I just wasn't ready to leave. I just had this feeling inside me that I was like, I'm just not. I just feel like I should be leaving off to New York to go to college right now. So I decided to go to my community college for like a good year and a half. I was planning obviously to do the full time and then transfer. I was like, by that time I'll be ready. And then like a year and a half in, I was just getting just completely covered in all these different opportunities in the modeling world. And I just felt, just like a calling from God that was just like, you need to take advantage of these opportunities right now. And school will always be there. These will not.
Uh-huh.
So choose wisely. And I did. And I'm very, very grateful that I stayed on the path that I decided. I love school, and I'm completely all for academics. I worked really, really hard in high school, but it just depends. It's either it's for you or it's not.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I like your attitude. Exactly. Exactly. What was it like for you when you first got selected by Elite and Wilhelmina International Modeling?
I felt like when I was younger, I wasn't able to sign on my own. My mom was always there to help me. I did it at such a young age. So when I signed with Elite, I was already traveling back and forth between Miami and LA and working, as a free agent for these brands. And then I moved to Miami and I was just like, you know what, I want to sign again. And it was literally the scariest thing ever because I remember just calling because they had casting calls when to come in. And I remember calling and being like, hey, I want to come in for a casting. And she's like, how tall are you? And I was like, 5'6". And she's like, oh, we don't accept anyone under 5'7". So like, there's no chance. And I was just like, well, I really think that I have potential and I really would love if you actually would take the time to see me. And so after some begging and deliberation, she finally was like, okay, fine, you can come in, we'll look at you and whatever, right? Fast forward, I end up going in for the casting, and there was this other girl in the waiting room with me, and she was like 6 feet tall, like beautiful, like Versace looking model, just like stunning, right? And someone came and handed her a paper at the front desk and said, hi, like, sorry, we're not interested. Maybe you can try a different agency. And I was like, oh, well, there's no way I have a shot. I was like, this girl is like stunning and she's killing it, and I'm like 20 years old, I'm so young. And then she comes over and she walks over to me and she's like, oh, you're the girl that called on the phone and like basically like was like pressing us to come in. And I was like, yeah, that was me. And then I ended up coming in and then she like took all my measurements and everything. And then they were like, we love you. We want to sign you. And I was like, they gave me a contract the same day. And I was just ecstatic because Elite was the agency I wanted to sign to since I was a little girl. And I'm very grateful for those opportunities. Working with Elite, I was able to not only work in Miami and in LA, but I was working internationally a lot as well.
Yes. Now, you have to play to the camera and audiences. That's one of the things that you do. What's that like? I'm told it's a natural fit for you.
It's so crazy how you said that because I was just going to say, I think it just comes natural. It really does. I just feel like I have this joy that's been put in me that I can't explain. It can't come from anywhere but God. I'm so grateful. And I just feel like it's just something that's like, just something that's within me. I also love to make people smile and I love to, be an entertainer. I think it's just in my blood.
What do people say to you when they meet you?
Not to brag, but no, people definitely are caught off guard. I could say that people would expect me to be, I feel like the typical mean girl or, be a little bit stuck up. And that's definitely the complete opposite when they meet me. I pride myself on humility and humbleness. And I've gotten this far, without being a mean girl. And also I think that it just takes more effort to be mean. It takes less effort to be nice. So that's something that surprises a lot of people when they meet me. Okay. I'm also pretty funny, I've heard,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You have a title, Supermodel. What does that mean?
I think it comes with a lot more than just being a model. I feel like I've become like a role model. I have to understand the influence that I have and how so many girls and like young girls on social media look up to me. So I pride myself on trying to be the best influence for those girls. And so being a supermodel is not just like traveling around the world and modeling for different brands that a lot of these young girls, that a lot of these young girls purchase from, but also just being like a representation for like the younger women in this generation to continually work hard and to not just take the easy route, fast money is not always good money. It took me a lot of hard work and dedication to get to where I'm at. And so I just feel like I want to be able to speak that to the young girls. So I think that a supermodel is way more than just being an actual supermodel. It's being a role model as well.
Got you. Demanding work. Models have to do that. Can you tell us about that?
What do you mean exactly?
You're asked to be here, get up at crazy hours, put this on, do that. I mean, you watch TV and you see what models have to do. There's a lot of work in it.
It is a lot of work. I would joke with my friends and they would be like, you get paid what I get paid in 2 weeks with 1 day of modeling. And I'm like, well, how would you feel about walking in heels for 8 hours straight and modeling in front of a camera and having the confidence to do so also, and then releasing pictures of you that it don't matter if you like them or not, they're going out. So It's definitely, it's not an easy job. It's a lot of work, but I'm very, very grateful. And I worked this hard to get to this point, you know? And sometimes you get caught up in the whole idea of like, oh, I want more for myself. I want to do more. I want to do bigger things. But then you have to retract and think like 5 years ago, I would have dreamed to be where I am today, you know? So it takes a lot of work and dedication. I worked really, really hard and it paid off and I'm still working.
Gallienne, can you tell us what's a typical day like for you?
A typical day for me. So I'm very fitness savvy. I love to go to the gym. I love to work out and keep myself healthy. So that's a really big part of my, yeah, very big part of my routine. Definitely want to encourage that to everyone else as well because health and fitness is very, very important. So I would wake up, I would go to work. My call time is typically around like 7 a.m. So I'm getting up around 5:30 anyway to get my day started. I'm sorry, I'm not going to work out at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not me. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to get ready for work. I'm going to go to shoot. I'm going to be on set from either probably like 2 to 3 p.m. Then after that, I'm going to make my way to the gym. I'm going to go take off this glam I have. I'm going to go work out for a good hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I like to read, I take meetings and things like that. And then I love to have like a nice family dinner with my family at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, what advice would you give to aspiring models? There's a lot of young ladies, beautiful ladies, that want to be what you do. What advice would you give them?
There's so much that I could say. I feel like what I would say is what I mentioned earlier about, you know, not taking the easy way, the easy route, because there's a lot of easier ways that we could kind of get ourselves up within the industry, but it doesn't always have, you know, beneficial effects, long lasting effects afterwards. And I just remember, you know, going to school during the week and then the whole weekend I would drive up to New York for 2 days, shoot with all the photographers I could shoot just to get back in time. I was humble. I did shoots for free. I did shoots for a much lower rate that I knew that I was worth. You know, I worked really, really hard to be able to say that I got to where I am today. So when it comes to just, you know, being a model and being where you want to be in life, I think it involves hard work, but also it involves just you being unique, bringing something different to the table, radiating to the people around you, you know? And what I really want to tell a lot of girls as well is, being hardworking and talent is very, very important. But sometimes it's just about being in the right place at the right time and who you know. And that's why I don't want people to beat themselves up sometimes, because sometimes it's not you, it's just you not being around the right people, or, you know, you not, you know, being lucky in a sense. That's literally how the industry can work sometimes.
Thank you. Thank you. A few more questions. I understand that you are currently developing a multifaceted brand called Gallienne. Please tell us about it.
Yes, I'm working on a beauty brand, which is really
All right.
exciting. A lot of twists and turns I've come to realize that that's a part of the process. And I want to do things the right way. So it has taken me a little longer than I would want, but I want everything to be perfect when I first launch. And my beauty brand is just a small part of my overall platform that I'm working on, which goes heavily into women empowerment.
Oh, sounds interesting. You know, one of the things, fans and followers, you see a lot of them. They're all over you. What do you say to them?
Thank
Give
you.
autographs?
Thank you for your support. I'm very, very
Uh-huh.
grateful. Anytime people actually notice me in public and want to see pictures, I'm very open to that. I'm very grateful for everyone, because these are the people who have truly gotten me to where I am and who have supported me and who have seen me go through this long process of growth. So I'm very, very grateful to all of my fans and followers.
Okay. All right. So here's a couple good ones for you. So now you live and work mostly in LA. Obviously, you like it here.
I do. Love it.
LA.
LA is a great, great, great place. In my opinion, you get all of the places that you might like in one place. And I mean, the weather, the quality of people, the quality of life, the constant need to want to be working and be productive and be thriving, because people work in this place. So that's one thing I absolutely love about LA. And I just knew that I had to live in Miami first, because if I went straight to LA, I wouldn't leave.
Okay. It says you're an actress. Tell us about that. What do you
So
do?
I
Training?
started
Uh-huh.
around the same time that I started pageants. I actually started theater acting. So I did a lot of theater. That was a really big part of my life, including like a lot of singing as well. And so I was able to kind of transition more into like film acting and working with different coaches and things like that around maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And so modeling, as you can imagine, has fully taken over my life. I've been traveling, working nonstop. And so over the last year, I've gotten to a place where I'm like, I love modeling and I'm so grateful for it, but I want to do something that pushes me a little bit more, something that makes me step out of my comfort zone. So I'm so excited to actually be getting more into film acting nowadays. I've been doing some like table reads and I've been, working with some great agencies. I have an amazing acting coach and I'm just very excited for the process. So it's exciting. Can't say too much, but I'm very excited.
Any special roles you like to look for?
Roles that make me step out of my comfort zone and roles that I feel like they naturally want to throw at me because I feel like, a lot of roles are based off your physical appearance. And so I want to be able to play with roles like that. Even if I play like a cheerleader, or like a mean girl in school, I feel like would be very fun. Or even if I play someone that's like, dealing with a very depressing situation, something that's like unique. I want to try multiple roles.
Okay. Well, we'd like to thank you very, very much for being with us today. We thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show. And please give my best to your publicist, Thomas Esty.
I will.
I've known him for a long, long time. Good guy. He's a real good
Great guy.
Give
Great.
him my best. Ladies and gentlemen, Gallienne Nabila.
Thank you so
very, very much. Take care. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about the Tack Grow Crow channel, please call us at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. Okay? Roll it, Tony. Thank you.
What I saw today wasn't education, as I understand the term. And they didn't seem very socialized either.
You didn't catch us on our best day.
Be truthful. If this program were to continue through the rest of the school year, how many of your students could realistically be expected to return to a regular classroom?
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a multi-talented actor and writer known for her captivating performances on your favorite primetime televisions. Leading with strength, charisma, and authority, she's also a classically trained chef, yes, who has done several guest appearances for Kraft Foods, Nordic Ware, Taste of Home, and various food and wine festivals. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sheila Cutchlow. Welcome. And I want to thank you to be here today.
It's good to be here.
Before, again, tell us where you were born at. I looked everywhere. I could not find where you were born.
I was born at Cedar Rapids, Iowa. No, Iowa. I'm an Iowa girl.
Iowa. My goodness. Well, look here. I mean, I looked everywhere. I could not find.
Yes.
I mean, I look here, there, everywhere. Couldn't find it. My goodness. Well,
that's funny because I start out a lot of sentences and conversations with, look, I'm from Iowa. The way we do things back home.
They look at you strange. What you doing there in Iowa, girl?
Yeah, I'm a good old-fashioned girl.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's funny because I brought my, obviously.
Yes.
You go home every year, 3 or 4 times a year. And my daughter, one time, she was about 8 years old, and she said, Mommy, you're not the black sheep of the family. You're more like the neon yellow sheep. And I said, yeah, baby, you're right. That's why Mommy doesn't live in Iowa.
Mommy. Okay. You are an actress. So what made you get into acting?
I am. You know what? Was just answering, just like any other art, right? It was answering that thing that was tapping in my head and on my
Yes.
shoulder and just looking for attention.
Yes.
I always had that thing inside,
Okay.
but didn't know how to actually get from Iowa to how do you get on television, you know?
Okay.
So I spent a lot of years shadowing, spent a lot of years on the corporate side of the entertainment industry.
Okay.
And being from someplace like Iowa, where the world is predominantly white, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time, and I got to tell you, it was this trajectory. Essence magazine was the first thing that opened my eyes to this beautiful, amazing Black world out there. And then I happened to see an episode of BET when TV would, come on and then go off at night, like 10 o'clock at night. I was visiting some family.
Yes.
And the town, not in Iowa, they didn't have BET in Iowa. And I remember thinking, oh, like it's there, it's possible, So.
Well, you made it here to Hollywood, that's for sure. The year was 2003.
Yep, sure did.
Yes.
Sure did.
The year was 2003. Your first IMDb TV series credit was for a called The System. Remember that?
Yes.
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 The System.
Yes, I do. It was an indie. It was an indie.
Now, speaking of TV, I'm sorry.
God. No, you go. You go.
Okay. Speaking of TV series, I see you definitely like doing them. You have what? As I did my count, 16 out of 33 credits that you have. TV series. You like them. And there's a reason for it.
TV. I love
You
TV.
keep a job, if nothing
Yes.
else. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. If you're in a series, you stay there, you get paid.
Exactly.
Exactly. One of the things.
And there is no greater time to be a performer. Oh, I think we have a little bit of a lag. I was saying there's no better time right now to be a writer or director or an actor.
Right.
With all of this amazing stuff on television, all of this content necessary. It's a fantastic time to do what we do.
And that's what you are, an actress, producer, and a writer. You got it all for yourself. Doing fine. Doing fine. Yes. Now, 2006 came a television show called The Wire. Again, TV series. Had a good role there.
Yeah.
You played the role of Miss Shepherdson. Okay.
Yes.
All right. When you're out here trying to get work, what kind of roles do you look for?
You know what? There's a belief in our business, right? Especially when you're breaking into the industry and really trying to make a name for yourself.
Yes.
Is if you can't be typecast,
Right.
you can't be cast.
Right.
So you really have to know what kind of essence and what kind of vibe you carry. So the roles that I book and that I really go after initially are those, that badass attorney, that kick-ass private school mom, somebody with some, like with a little bit of like a little edge, right? The boss.
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
So I would love to play, and I auditioned for, like the victim, like a
Okay.
Law and Order SVU. I'll audition for those, the victim, but those are not the ones I usually book. I think I'm coming in too strong. Like, who's gonna mess with her? Nobody.
You got to hold your head up and do what you got to do. That's what they're doing. That's what you got to do. For sure. For sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you do any stage work, madam?
I have not done any stage work recently. I love theater. That is the proving ground. That is where the real work happens. It's an animal in and of itself. Theater is no joke because it's live.
Yep.
And you have to be on it. And because it's live and because you're also dealing with other amazing live people, it's a growing, evolving production. So even though the words and the actions may be the same from the beginning of a run to the end of the run, it morphs and it grows. I love theater, but no, I don't do a lot of it. I am getting back into it though. Listen, I'm auditioning everywhere. I'm like, what? Who wants me? Right.
Yes,
I like that.
indeed. That's
And actually, I've thought about producing my own show.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
No, I thought about producing my own show actually.
producing a show sounds good. Let us know. So come on back to the show and talk to
My
us.
own play.
Okay.
I will. I
hope you. I know you will. I know you will.
indeed.
For me, I know I talk to a lot of people, and I have a bone for them with them. And they come here to Hollywood. They want to be a star. No problem with that. But they do television, they do film, but they won't do that stage. They just don't want to do it. Not me. I won't do that.
It's hard. Right. No, it's hard. One of the things that it probably still irritates me, but is when someone says to me, you know what? I think I'll be an actor.
Oh.
And I want to say to them all the time,
yes.
Oh, just like that, right? He's going to get discovered just like that. It does not happen like that. Being an overnight sensation, I've been an overnight sensation 2 or 3 times. Okay. So my next level is going to be stratosphere. It's diligence and it's work and it's persistence and it's faith all in action. And so theater is the same. It's like, it's the hard stuff. You know, it's the time. You put in all that time. Yeah. Yeah.
Celebrity chef. What's that like? You still doing it?
You know what? So I'm pitching a food show as well.
Okay, when?
In the entertainment industry. So I've crafted 3 concepts for my food show. Okay. And 3 different concepts. One I really love, but it's a little edgy. So I don't know if they're going to go for it or not. I don't want to do the food show where you're standing in this sterile white and yellow kitchen and you're just chopping onions. I want to really talk and dig into food and family and experiences. So anyway, so I've got 3 concepts and I'm shopping those around. I would love a food show. That's really, it's my thing. Yeah, food is my passion.
What are you known for cooking? What kind of meats, what kind of food do you cook?
Honey, I cook everything.
Okay.
But I would say, well, the thing that won me the contest was chicken and rice. I just made it real sexy and fancy. but I'm more of a savory cook. So seafoods and vegetables and, beautiful rice dishes and things like that. To like culinary fame is making it taste good and look good. So I want to crank up just the regular mundane dishes and make them sexy.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Do you do anything food out of say Louisiana, New Orleans?
Do what?
Do you do any New Orleans food?
New Orleans? Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like etouffee?
I do some New Orleans food. Yeah.
You do New Orleans.
I do it. Listen, a mean gumbo. Okay. I do a mean gumbo. And it's funny that you asked because I've got a bunch of stuff in my kitchen. Because I was a chef in Beverly Hills for a while. Okay. So I've got all kinds of equipment and I'm justifying whether or not I get to keep it if I haven't used it. I'm actually working on beignets. So I will let you know. You can judge them for me, okay?
Okay. Because I love to sit down and like I said, a good friend of mine cooked some etouffee for me the other day. Mwah! Delicious. Delicious. A lot of shrimp, a lot of that good food in there.
Okay.
Over white rice, because you're going to eat that rice. That's what you're going to eat. If you don't eat nothing else, you eat that white rice. Indeed. Wow. Question, this is your last question for you, madam. What's next for you?
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Series regular.
Okay.
That is series regular. That is, I've gotten a lot of really juicy guest star roles, a lot of top of show. And I've been able to work with really cool people. But now It's series regular on a primetime show where I get to, live and to grow inside of a character.
Yes, because you did have you in one job you had NCIS Los Angeles, and they're getting ready to end that one. That's a doggone
I
shame.
know. I was Neil Long's attorney in that. Yeah, I was Neil Long's attorney at NCIS. She's amazing, but it's just like, well, if she's not going to be on the show, then I guess they don't need her attorney. So I was like, come on, Nia, what else are we doing?
Yes, this is true. Sheila, it's a real pleasure. Thank you for being with us here today on this auspicious occasion, our 350th episode. As I say, 350 down and 350 to go. Best wishes to you and your career. And thanks to a good friend of mine, Dante Venegas. You know Dante.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Bless you. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandford.
Thank you. This was
Photography is an art. Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight. Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel Message in the Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. Much thanks to our guest today, actress Pei Pei Lin, supermodel actress Gallienne Nabila, and of course, producer, actor, writer Sheila Cutchlow. Of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We will see you next time. Take care.